Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's call. Great to have you on here. I would love to hear in the chat how you're feeling, how your month is going, how is the 30% offer going for loyalty rewards as well as new enrollments. How's it all looking for you all? Emily Hazel's just jumped on as well. Emily, I've just asked everyone how their month is going, how they're going with the 30% off, what it's looking like. I'm going to pass over to Emily tonight. She's going to be covering some epic stuff on discipline and action taking. So over to you, Emily.
Wow, we straight into it. All right, no loop, straight in. I'm just like, hi. Um, Please let me know you can hear me okay, because these headphones can be a bit temperamental. Is that all right, the sound? Yep, cool. Also, you guys are literally on a green garbage bin. I'm in my grand's courtyard right now, taking this in 36-degree heat. So let this moment be an example of what we're going to be talking about tonight, which is discipline. And I would love to hear from you. And I'm actually going to give this a moment so everybody can drop in with us. Because I want to hear some definitions of what discipline is and what it conjures up for you, right? Because everybody has different meanings. Let me just make sure everyone's muted. Thanks, Jesse. And obviously, discipline is one of the, if not core, skill to cultivate in business if you want to play a long game, which I'm sure someone like Jesse, or if you've been in the business or your own business for more than a year, let alone 10, like Jesse and Jackie have, and I'm sure they've had so many experiences like this, they have seen so many people come in full of beans, full of gusto, full of fire and passion and spice and excited, and then fade away because discipline is required for the long game. And this model in doTERRA is really supportive of playing a long game, as we see in Jesse's success, in Jackie's success, in so many leaders that we have as tangible proof that this compensation model supports you in the long term. So I really want to shift our thinking first and foremost from the immediate gratification, convenience, and model that we are so conditioned to be trained with in our current society. So we're going to slow it down, and I hope this is really interactive as well. I've got a few graphics that I'm going to put up because I love visuals. And honestly, my brain right now, like I've had a few really big days. Like I like having something to respond from. So I really, really encourage utilizing the chat box. And if there's anything that you're currently feeling stuck with, or there's something I say and you're like, ooh, um, please share in there. This is a conversation, and these calls are really for you as coachable moments to access all of our different skill sets. And so many of us in this space are really, really blessed with expertise and experience and time with working with clients in this way. So I absolutely adore anything that comes up that does feel like a coachable moment. So welcome. I feel like we've kind of got the full house now. If you haven't already, take out one of your oils that cultivates grounding and presence and affirmation of your being here. Close down any other browser tabs, eliminate any distractions. We probably won't hit the full hour today. We're gonna work through things nice and speedy. So really bring yourself all here, and we can dive on in. So thank you for coming, everybody. Let's read through some of these definitions. We are talking about discipline tonight for those of you that just popped in. And I want to hear your definition of what the fuck that even is. So I'm just going to have a quick read through and touch the key words here. Doing things that need to be done whether you feel like it or not relying on motivation, commitment, focus, productive habits. Discipline is doing the actions that are required even if I don't feel like it. Sophie also echoed this, so that's been the recurring theme. Beautiful, love that. Knowing the difference between when it's a time to actually rest and recover and repair versus when it's laziness. I love that you shared this, Courtney, because we're going to sync our bangs into this one tonight. I know that a lot of us hold this, like we send to self care, and this can actually most often express itself as a way to cock block your momentum. You know, when things start to speed up, the nervous system goes, whoa, okay, like maybe this is a bit too fast. There's too much velocity. So I actually got to bring it back down because my protective mechanism doesn't know if this is safe. And so it conjures up something like fatigue or an illness or an injury or pain or even just the thought, right? That I should rest, I should slow things down. And that's a really cheeky one that we have to be mindful of, especially as women. Um, I think most of us here, yeah, most of us on this call here tonight are women. There is an extra layer of indoctrinated conditioning around staying feminine and not pushing yourself and not abiding to being too masculine, too strong, too bold, too audacious, too powerful, right? So when you start to notice that speed picking up, what's your response? What do you do when there's momentum, when it seems like there's so much going on? What kind of thoughts pop up for you? I'd love for you to just like ramble them into the chat. For me, it's like, oh, can I hold all of this? My inner control freak is like, do I have all the details? What have I missed? I get this like, what have I missed? What have I missed? What's the detail I've missed? Have I missed someone's birthday? Am I not forgetting? Have I left someone on red? Like, that's my thing. Can I hold this? Overwhelm. I'm gonna drop the ball somewhere. Yeah. So these are the thoughts. I'm gonna call them thoughts, not beliefs, because a belief is simply a thought you keep thinking. And these incredible plant allies, I've got my little bag of tricks here. I was just using Affirm, the beautiful from the yoga collection, which I know Katie and Jessie are working with a lot this month. And we use these oils like ginger. Ginger is a really great one to like disrupt the pattern. Instead of approaching this like, oh, this is a really deep seated block and I've been working on it forever and it's this core wound, a belief is simply a thought you keep thinking. So when we notice the thought and we become aware of it, and of course, Courtney and Jessie have shared about how Vedic meditation has changed their life. I'm sure most of you have some kind of somatic practice, visualization, whatever. Take what works for you. I love journaling to disrupt my beliefs. We use the plants to literally help us bust through those perceived limitations to help us go exactly where that limitation was going to take us, right? I have a phrase in my business. I've been working and consulting and coaching people since 2017, health coaching and somatic work. And one of my favorite phrases is that the resistance is the way. So typically, when, say, Jessie, you feel the overwhelm, Courtney, when you feel the anxiety, Chloe, when you feel the overwhelm that then leads to inaction, right? Like what follows on from that? Because typically that pattern has probably played out quite a lot. And when we're looking to disrupt a pattern, we have to have a backup plan because autopilot is so quick. It's automatic, right? You don't know that you're in action, you're like not in action because you're overwhelmed because it's so normal, right? So when the awareness does come in, you use the oils and you get back on track. You can pivot, you can redirect. So what are our core actions in building a doTERRA business? Drop them in the chat box for me below. This should be absolute second nature for you by now. What are the core actions that makes up this entire business, that makes up everything that will contribute to your success? Courtney, sharing conversations, using the products, getting products on people. Perfect. Yes, I love this. Being in the DMs, conversations, using and sharing the products, talking to people. Amazing. Great. And I think actually Tony Robbins talks about this. The easiest way to get out of your own shit, making it about you, because being stuck in your blocks is the most, let's face it, selfish thing you could be focused on, is contribution with others. And this is where we get to shift from the obsession of our own stuff. And this, I'm not dismissing when we need to be in process, when we need to like actually shake it off, when we need to, there's a difference. And I'll talk about that in a minute, how to identify that difference and not get swept up in emotion when it hits. But when we are in this business, we're automatically in generosity and contribution, right? Because we are literally being voices for the plants to do some kind of healing, some kind of optimization, some kind of increasing and supporting someone's experience of life. So what happens when you jump on the call and you didn't want to? What usually happens? Court, I want your answer. What happens when you go to the coffee that you kind of were like a bit tired about, or maybe you were booked for yoga and like, oh, I just started bleeding and I don't really, I could have a bath and watch Netflix, but you go to yoga, what happens? You feel better because you changed your state. You, for a moment, forgot about whatever was happening inside of you. You pivoted and redirected that energy because emotion is just energy. We are the ones that attach the story and the narrative to it. Oh, I've got to process all of this stuff and the story about it, right? No, it's just energy. So, say there's overwhelm that comes up. Who experiences overwhelm on a weekly basis? Yeah. And if we have a strategy in place, strategy is one, grab an oil, grab my balance, put it on the soles of my feet, or if I'm wearing shoes, sniff it. Two, how can I change my state and redirect this energy? Not to bypass it, not to suppress it, not to numb it, but to use it as fuel for the momentum. Because I know that I'm here to get to work. I know that my success is inevitable. I know that this business has come to me to support me into my wealth circulation, my wealth appreciation in increase and earning, right? I know that I'm a vessel and a conduit for the healing that these products bring. So, how can I get out of the way and let that energy be moved to a powerful action that will ultimately support me in the long term? What are those actions again? Using and sharing the products, talking to people, conversations. Keep it simple. I want you to write that. If you've got your journal out, write the word simplify. Simplify. I want to quickly speak to something because I've had a few really cool messages in with my new builders that are like, oh, okay, show me how to enroll someone, or what about upgrading to a wellness advocate? What about this product information about this thing? And of course, we are here to support you. That's what these threads are for. That's what these groups are for. And I'm loving how my other builders are coming in and stepping in and offering, everyone's supporting each other. And also, we get to come back to the simplicity of it. Two things. Everything in this business is Googleable, which makes you an instant expert. I've got an awesome quote I'm going to share in a second that relates to this. Who holds the belief or the thought that they should know more before they make fucking awesome money? Yeah. Is that almost all the hands, right? The people that are successful with wealth understand that they can make money in the learning process. They can identify that that thought is coming from a place of perfectionism. And there is, of course, a level of like value in your work and not like impulsively throwing yourself in. Again, I know you know the nuance, but interrupt that and either give yourself a solution, which is, okay, what do I need to know then? And how can I look it up right now and do my fucking research? I don't know enough about MetaPower, so I'm not going to host the class. I'm not going to have the meeting. I'm not going to pitch the gym. So that leads to an action, or does it lead to taking the MetaPower education course that is for free by doTERRA? Right? Jesse, I knew absolutely fuck all when I started, still barely know anything. There are people that know way more than me that don't share because they feel like they don't know enough. Exactly. So the change here in someone that is successful, someone that is a big conduit for impact and change and wealth and healing, knows they don't have to get it right, that it's okay to fuck it up, that it's okay to make mistakes and be messy along the way, because you're also granting that humanity to anyone that you're in business with too, right? You can have standards, of course, hold yourself to a standard of, I'm not going to, like when I was teaching yoga as an example, for sure. Now, if someone rocked up right now and said, teach me an hour-long yoga class with this injury, I would be able to do it. But the first 6 months of teaching yoga, no way. I had to sequence, I had to learn, I had to practice the posture names and the contraindications. So we're all in the process. And I know a couple of you have probably been in this business longer than me, but when we are sharing in the process, that's always going to be authentic unless you're sharing something that is not authentic to you. So tap into testimonials, tap into the countless resources we have. And if something feels icky or like you don't know, just say you don't know. That's the most freeing thing. Jessie came to an event, oh, and Katie as well, came to an event of mine a couple of weeks ago that I did with Laura. And I think there was a question that came up about something. It's not even in my head anymore. And I said, that's a really good question. I don't know. In front of a room full of people, you know? That to me increases trust rather than decreases it because people are sensitive, right? They can feel you if you're trying to bullshit them, if you're trying to manipulate them or to pretend like I want to look good and I'm meant to know. People don't fall for it. So just be real. Okay, couple of comments. Love this. The core actions. Note these down just to repetition, 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 getting it through into the subconscious until it becomes automatic. Recruiting, helping people get on loyalty rewards, helping those that want to share do the same. Scroll up if you've missed that comment, and I want you to rewrite that out. Recruiting, so new prospects, new customers, new builders, helping your existing customers and builders or people in the business get on loyalty rewards, and helping others that want to share do the same. Repeat, rinse and repeat for as long as you want to be actively building your business. Who gets that? Who understands those three actions? Yeah. Cool. So can we build a six-figure business, a 2K a month business, a $1 million business, knowing just those things? Is that what you've done, Jessie? Pretty sure that's what you've done. Right? How cool is that? So everything else in the messy middle is us and ourselves. This is ultimately what I call personal development on crack, wrapped in essential oils. So I'm going to open up my screen now. I'm going to dive into a few of these principles around. Oh, can you hand me over the host, please, Jessie? Yeah, same activities now as it was when I started. So for anybody that's, in their first month, third month, 6 months, this should feel really liberating, right? Like, okay, great. I don't need to be a genius. I don't need a 10-year bachelor degree. I don't need to handle sourcing, packaging, shipping, delivery. I don't need to handle pricing. Oh my God, what an amazing steal of a business model we have to work. So what is my job? What is our job? We are in sales. What happens when I say the word sales before I do share my screen? Because I always want to temperature check on these kinds of words. Feel the energetics in the room. Sales, what does that bring up for you? Give me a word or two in the chat box. I am in sales. You are in sales. Sorry, we've got some lovely nature friends happening out here. You're welcome. Confidence, maybe pushy. Yeah. So here's the thing. Well, because I want a few more answers. If you haven't typed anything yet, give it to me. We are selling all day, every day. You watch kids do this, right? Kids bargain and they play pretend and they manipulate and because their filter's off, right? They don't have the ego yet. They're just doing it because they want something. We're always doing this, right? Today, what did I sell? I'm so curious, actually. Run your mind over just the last day or so. I sold my auntie to get me out of sweeping so much because it didn't make sense to clean the Airbnb before we checked out because they paid a cleaning fee. All of that was because I didn't want to fucking sweep. I was tired. I didn't want to sweep. Didn't make sense to me. So I was able to see my problem. I don't want to sweep. The thing that was being asked of me, sweep. And I manipulated I'm going to use that word because I want us to get comfortable with this, because this is a part of human nature. And when the manipulator gets in the dark, in the shadow, it comes out in other ways. So let's bring that manipulator archetype out and start to create a bit of intimacy with it. So that's how I sold today. There was probably 15, 20, 30 other ways that I sold today. We're always selling, whether you are just making, if you're giving a compliment to someone, if you are sharing with someone, there is always an exchange. Sales and selling is an exchange of value. Write that down. Simplify, right? Business and sales is an exchange of value, nothing more. Okay, so what comes up around sales? Fear, discomfort, fear of rejection, discomfort. Sam's feeling neutral about it after working to drop the stigma. Perfect. Jessie said, I used to choke hard when it came to the close in the early days, but now I bloody love sales. I get to bring massive value to people and get paid. Hear that? Value, get paid, exchange. I'm getting rejected every other day. Tina's working on her mindset. Amazing. Rejection is just a part of it. So perfect. Yep. It's a bit of a kink now, Courtney says, to find the way that brings value to the person in front of me. Yeah. Sales to me is like a game. Business is like a game to me. This is where we get to bring some fun to it. And this is where discipline will come in. Because for me, transformation, the identity upgrade, becoming who you really want to be, becoming successful, having a successful business, discipline and all of this requires that you bring a level of playfulness and curiosity. This is what successful people do, right? They live in the question mark rather than the full stop. The question mark, I just saw you say that, Tina. Are there any more reframes? I'm reframing my mindset to it's just a no for now and they need more evidence and proof. That's living in the question mark. That's beautiful because you're not living at the full stop of there are no, full stop, close the door, shut down. I've made up my mind. What are those people like? They're rigid. And you know these kinds of people, right? That don't let life move. They don't live in the question mark. They live with the full stop and they kind of suck. So we get to decide to live in the question marks, to remain curious and open and inquisitive. And I'm guessing that if you're in this business, you already are like that. You have a curiosity. So harness that, because asking high quality questions is going to be a huge skill set in this business. Okay. Business. Actually, show of hands, who has ran their own business before? Who has been in business? I'm just going to look at all of you. Yes, hands up. Okay, cool. So maybe about like half and half. I can't obviously see all the people with their cameras off. So running your own business is very different from having a job. Who knows that by now already? It requires a whole different archetype of you. Business, as here, I can't remember, I think this is Ross Harkness's quote. Business is the most practical way to improve yourself. So this is it, right? Instead of paying for personal development, have a business and get paid to be in developing your character. You're forced to get uncomfortable. You expose yourself to big problems. You survive on your ability to get results. You learn to be calm with uncertainty. That one's really good. I know a few of us in here have been on quite a journey with that one. Your mind is literally wired to hunt, and progress, as in going in the pursuit of something and achieving it or not, fail or gain, that's actually what makes life meaningful and what we derive joy and satisfaction from. It's being in the process. If there is nothing that you're going for, and we'll use this in the business, right? If there's no rank advance that you're specifically going for right now, there's no containment. When there's no containment, there's no energy. You're just kind of like seeing how it goes, right? Is anyone in that energy right now? I'd be really curious. Who's just seeing how it goes? Who's just seeing what happens? Cool. Sorry, me. Awesome. I'm in Berwick, baby. We're like neighbors right now. So cool. It's freaking hot. Okay, good. Once we get honest with ourselves about that, and then we can ask ourselves, okay, is there something that can create a bit of tension here? Tension is sexy. A lot of the time, we don't want to set a goal because then, well, that increases our chances of failing, right? 50-50. I could get it or I couldn't. I don't know. Do I trust myself to get it? I don't know. That's scary. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to fail. Ouch. My childhood. Ouch. My beliefs. I get it. I get it. So when there's no goal, though, when there's no tangibility around something, your rank advance, say, or a number. I work better with rank advance because really specific details, they don't do it for me. They actually bring a lot more overwhelm and anxiety rather than a feeling of being expanded. So tune into what this is for you because you might be the same as me. You might be like, ooh, 5K a month feels like fucking scary and like it blows me out too much. Okay, so what is it? What's the goal? The goalpost that creates a bit of tension, as in it goes, whoop, you're going to have to show up in a different way if you really want that. You cannot stay the same. Not so much that it's going to fry your fucking circuits. Can you find something within your doTERRA business right now that is that goalpost? And I want you to share it with us in the chat. Make it real, make it tangible. It might be your rank advance. So it might be, I want to hit executive, director, elite, premier, silver, gold. I want to hit my first power of three, 50 US. I want to hit my second power of three, 250 US. My third level power of three, 1500 US. Awesome. Courtney went a step further and she added a timeline to it. If this feels good for you, do that too. Awesome. Love these. Sometimes I fall back into the see how it goes phase. Yeah, very tempting. That can sometimes be an upper limit problem. I did a podcast on this. I think I shared it in the doTERRA Wealth Builders Accelerator group about how sneaky those upper limit problems can be. When things are really good and they're cruising, and we're like, yeah, things are cruising now. I can kind of take my foot off the gas. But then what happens when you take the foot off the gas and you're going 100 down a highway? Eventually, that's going to slow down, right? And the momentum of the car and the speed's going to slow down. So just watch for that. Great. These are fucking perfect, guys. Amazing. So for those of you that have not put a timeline, I want you to play with what that looks like. Elite in 30 days, elite in 8 weeks, elite in 3 months. Like play with something that creates that spark. It's got to be sexy. It's got to turn you on a little. It's got to activate something in you because that activation is a hunger. And what are we here to do? Our mind is wired to hunt. When we are not hungry, we are comfortable. And this is where my next, I think it's this one. This one. When we're not uncomfortable and we're not on the edge of discomfort, we're living in convenience. How sexy is convenience? It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Convenience is really sexy because I mean, it's nice to have food delivered to your house. It's nice to go to the grocery store. It's nice to like just get by. It's nice to just be healthy enough. It's nice to not be sick. It's nice to have a car that gets you from A to B. It's nice. Yeah. Convenience is the killer of creativity. Convenience is like the stifler to the fucking soul to me. There is no aliveness in convenience. It's great. I live in convenience most of the time, I would say. It's lovely. But that hunger, if that's not activated, and I know some of my builders that are watching this or tuning into the replay, I have seen in them that their hunger only comes alive when the wolf is at the door. Who does this too? When they really need to make something happen, they'll make it happen. Yeah. When the bill has got to be paid. Yeah. When the wolf is at the door, it's like, ooh, I am activated. I will move into motion. I will fucking stop at nothing. I will do something, right? This is the energy we could play in all the time without stress if we cultivated this as an identity. So something I'm working with actively with two of my builders right now is I don't have to wait to make the move when it's already almost too late. And this is tricky to do when we live in comfort. So this is why discipline is in the room tonight with us. Discipline is hard in the beginning because easy has been sold to us so well. But as we know, easy only works for so long before it becomes some of the hardest shit. It's easy to eat processed food because it tastes so good. It's easy because it's cheap. It's easy to not work out because that's hard. It's an extra effort. It's easy to sleep in. It's easy to scroll your phone because your brain is literally addicted to it. It's easy, it's easy, it's easy. What happens when all those easy things stack up? You wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, I've stacked on this weight, or I've got an injury now because I didn't keep myself fit and agile. I am still here and 3 years has gone by. What the fuck? Who's had one of those moments? Whew. Or a few, or 10, or 20. Yep. So when we are lacking discipline, and to me, this word has been bastardized and misunderstood. Discipline, as we said in the first, that definition, doing things when you don't feel like doing them. I don't know if I agree with that. To me, discipline is freedom. Discipline is commitment in motion. It is the expression and the outward embodiment of your values. That's discipline to me. If you are not disciplined, which, by the way, is a myth because everything you do right now is what you are disciplined to. Does that make sense? Do we hear that? You are disciplined. You're just disciplined to the choices that you're currently making and the identity that you currently have and the standards that you currently settle for. You are currently disciplined to those things. So it's a what's the word? It's like you're just tapping out if you say you're not disciplined. That's utter bullshit. You are disciplined. Discipline is whatever you're committed to. Discipline is whatever you're showing up for. Discipline is whatever standards you're settling for. So whatever that is right now, you are disciplined to Netflix for 2 hours every night. You are disciplined to getting to bed too late. You are disciplined to having only this amount in your bank account. And then when it goes lower than that and the wolf is at the door, you make a bit more, and but it stays like that, right? That's a discipline. Does that make sense? So that identity shift already should create a bit of relief for some people. Oh my God, I already am disciplined. I don't even have to be disciplined. I already am. Cool. Great. And business is always going to be expanding me, needing me to change, needing me to evolve, needing me to pivot, needing me to adapt. And this is where I want you to really hear the identity of someone that is in business for themselves, because it's not for everybody. And some of you, that spark will lessen and maybe it won't come back. And we as a team, like that's what we're here doing as a community. We relight, you know, if your spark's getting low, we're like, oh, hey, like, can I jump in and like give you some of my flame? Like, can I reignite your passion and your fire for this? And can I remind you of the purpose and the plan and where we're going? And like, yes. How good does that feel when you plug into an event or you plug into a space like that, right? The life force comes back, it reinvigorates you. But for some of you, maybe, I hope not. I hope you stay the course. And I hope in a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, we're still all on this call going, yeah, we were disciplined to staying. We were disciplined to showing up. We were disciplined to having conversations with people, to sharing the products. That's it. That's all you have to be disciplined to for success in this business. So, for those of you that hold this belief, that repeat thinking this thought, you don't need more time. You don't need more information. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You need a goal that lights you on fire. You need that rank advance or that money goal or something, some kind of something. For me, one of my goals is I want to take my dad to Egypt. That's not a monetary goal or a timeline goal, but that sparks something in me that moves me. Like I feel it. It makes me get emotional because that's his lifelong dream and he's not going to do it himself. So think about something like that. And again, I'd love to open the chat box to hear a few of those those other goals that maybe they feel a bit more long term. Maybe it's going to require you stick it out for 2 years. Maybe it's going to require you pay off debt and you do this and you clean up that, and it's a bit more of a long haul. Longevity and staying power is a part of discipline. And again, you already have this because you have the staying power for whatever you're currently choosing. We just get to redirect it. So that goal that lights you on fire gets to be that fire, that spark. Yeah, okay, cool. I've got something to focus on. I've got a container. You need to enter the damn arena and face the work. What's the work? Having conversations, sharing the products. That's going to get real boring real quick, but I'm going to repeat it forever and ever and always. Move fast, break things, learn, improve, repeat. You can sit there and worry about what might happen and what people might say, but realize that nobody truly cares. And the only way to improve is to do, is to get in the arena and try. I always use movement and the gym and fitness as an example of this because it's through the body. I always loved boxing, right? Like I love boxing movies. I love watching the fights. But to take a fight, you can't win a fight by watching it on YouTube and studying it. That's a part of it, right? Studying is an aspect of this business. And I love like whatever juices your mind. But to win a fight, I had to learn how to spar. I had to learn how to get hit in the face. I had to learn how to, so many things, right? I can't do that. Hiding, sitting on the bench. So the best thing you guys can do, and I see so many of you doing it already, and it's so amazing. The free challenges, the masterclasses, the Instagram lives, the running events, the inviting someone to a coffee, like just getting out there in the arena. Like I really want you to take a moment to acknowledge that because it takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage, especially to keep doing it if you have faced that rejection, which of course is a part of this. It's inevitable. So if it is an inevitability, we know for sure it's going to happen. Let's get on board with how we work with rejection. This is my favorite part of this quote. It's not the universe or other people that's stopping you. It's the story you tell yourself about what might happen. Turn it off and enter the arena. Who feels that spark just on fire a little bit more just through this conversation? Yes, right. Good. Love it. Thanks, Christina. Thanks, Nat. And when it's simple and we know our actions, we can get in the arena knowing what to do. Because I find that's also something I hear from my builders and from myself in the early days is like, I've got the energy, but like, oh my God, what do I do with it now? Oh, I have a conversation with someone. I check in for 1 second and say, okay, spirit, God, doTERRA, whoever, who should I reach out to? Who's coming through? Who should I run into today? Where would you have me go? Jessie's question, she wakes up every day and says, how can I be of service today? Trust that your intuitive self knows exactly what's going on here. It's your mind that is the zoo that we need to harness discipline with a bit more. Chloe, this is me. I love to overcomplicate things when it comes to business. I'm going to write simplify it bloody everywhere. Yes. And have a quick think about this. Who benefits when things feel too complicated? Like as an example, who benefits in the financial system if money seems too complicated? People that already probably are circulating it, people that have the money, that have money equals power, right? There's jargon in every industry. We have it in doTERRA. Something I picked up actually at the leadership retreat event was don't use the acronym LRP. Now I know that might not resonate for a lot of you, but I've been playing with this and I actually have had more success with communicating and articulating loyalty rewards by calling it what it is, loyalty rewards. People know what that means, right? When you say LRP, people are like, fucking what? What? If I say rank advance, I'm trying to normalize that a little bit. But initially it's like rank advance, fucking what? What? So strip back that jargon. There's nothing worse than being around people in a different industry and they're using all these words and you're like, oh my God, I feel so stupid. You want your prospects, as in your customers, your people that you are in value exchange with, to go down the jargon list, the people you're in exchange with, you want them to feel acknowledged. You want to feel on the same level, right? So if you can, keep it simple there too. Yeah. You don't need to come off like you're the smartest guy in the room. Did I skip one? Okay, here we go. So here's the phrase I live by every day. Are the results I am expecting aligned with the habits I am following each day? Please write this down or take a photo or screenshot or video this part because this is your number one guide to show you what action you need to take. If you're someone that is in that overwhelm or they're spinning out and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. If you ask yourself honestly this question, you will get an answer that is tangible. You will get your very next step. Are the results I'm expecting, aka the goal that you want? So I'm going to use let's use a real life example. Okay, Chloe. Chloe wants to hit premiere in March. Boom. It's the 11th of March now, right? So she has until 30 days, 31st of March to hit premiere. So 30, she got 20 more days to hit premiere. What's the what do you need to hit premiere? Someone tell me in the chat box. Not Jessie, because I know you know it. I'm testing them. 5,000 overall volume, right? 5,000 overall volume. So who are we talking about again? Chloe? Yeah, Chloe. Sorry. My brain is melting. I have had not much sleep. So Chloe has 20 days to hit 5,000 overall volume. And she can look at her volume now, subtract that from 5,000 OV, and go, great, I've got 2,500 to go. I need another 3,500. Amazing. How can we simplify this again, Chloe? Instead of 3,500 being like some fantastical, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, I don't know, let's see what happens. 3,500, okay, so that's 35 people on a 100 PV order if they're just me. Maybe you have people in your team, I'm not sure. Okay, fuck, that feels like a lot of people. That's 35 100 PV orders. Okay, maybe I could get comfortable with selling a bigger kit at a higher PV. Maybe I could attract a builder or empower my builder to make referrals. Maybe I could ask existing customers for referrals. Like, see how the brain will then offer a solution to the problem. So, are the results premiere in March in 20 days' time? I'm expecting aligned with the habits I'm following each day. So then we also get that honest review, right? Okay, well, fuck. I didn't even check in with anyone today. I haven't followed up with anyone about loyalty rewards from last month. And I know they have to be on LRP before the 15th if they want to start getting the free product next month. Okay, so I haven't done that. And then we start to create the list. Yeah. Bessie says this could be other people in your team enrolling people, of course, to contribute to your overall volume, your own new enrollments, people on your team on loyalty rewards, and taking advantage of the amazing LRP booster that we've got going on this month. Jessie sent out an awesome email about this. doTERRA also sends you an email on the first of each month with the promos for the month with links that are relative for you to learn about how to articulate them and what's exactly going on. I'm so glad, Chloe. I'm glad I chose you then, right? So I'll use this as a real life example for everybody. Take a moment. That rank advance, that goal, whatever it is for you, how can we simplify it? How can we quantify it? Because this is why I think I'm in the business of doTERRA is actually to, of course, integrate emotion into it, but also to make it sound a bit more like business, right? And less like magic, less like I hope so, less like manifest, less like da 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 da. Let me tell you, I'm all about that. We've been casting spells, we've been doing self-pleasure, like we are doing that. And actually, I'm going to invite you all. I'm making this available to team wide, not just my team. I'll put the link in the chat box below. This is perfect timing to tell you about it. When's it happening? Saturday. So it is a weekend. So hopefully people that can't do weekdays if they work a full-time job or they're not available can make this. We are doing a rank advanced business manifestation session where we're using the technique of scripting. So we'll be writing like a bit of a manifesto. We'll be doing a future self visualization. But here's where it gets practical. I'll be showing you the slides of each rank, the volume that it requires, if there's necessary legs in your business that need to be structured in a certain way. So we're going to make this really practical, okay? This is going to be so, so helpful for me as well. I learn best by teaching, which is why, thankfully, Jessie lets me come in and share with you guys because I'm actually getting so much out of this because that's my way. And it might be your way too, because we're learning through repetition. So the more that we're receiving information and then resharing it, the more that that's going into your subconscious. So it's just automatic, right? We want it to be automatic. So that link is going in the chat box now. It's free. You can invite whoever you want. We're going to spend the first half in total play. Oh, cool. Okay, that's the weekend. Yes. Oh, I'll send the replay to the team. Yes. There won't be a replay for like the randos from the public that come, but yes, I'll put it on YouTube for you guys. So we've got here a little section who invited you to this session. So if you do have any potential customers, potential builders, and they want to understand how the compensation plan kind of works through the ranks, I'm not going to be going through the compensation plan. I'm just going to be showing them the different ranks. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Then I know, if they're coming from you, then I'll tell you, etc. So if we want the replay, do we still sign? Yes, sign up. Sign up for sure, because then I'll be sending it out via email, and this is on my email list. Okay, so that is the awesome offering that's going to back up this session today. Love it. So many of you are going to Vedic meditation. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm holding this for my builders that are in New Zealand, so they will not be at the Vedic meditation. But I'll be there with you in spirit. Where'd my chat box go? Okay. So, last few minutes, my people. I want you to make this tangible so that you come away tonight with something. I want to hear, again, this is in one sentence, all right? This is your mission, this is your homework, this is your instant assignment in the chat box so that we can seal this up because we are doing magic right now too. I want to hear your goal and I want to hear a timeline. Even if it's loosey goosey, that's okay. Just creates the sexy tension. Yeah, doesn't matter if it's not. You can get over that. Keep going. But sexy tension. And then a habit that you're committed to. That's no fail. You can't fuck it up. So, as an example, one of my everyday habits is checking in with my dashboard. I log into my back office in my doTERRA account every day. That to me, aside from Sundays, I take Sundays offline. But that habit means that I'm seeing my numbers every day. I'm seeing the names of my team and I get to bless them up. I'm seeing my new customers. I get to bless them up. I get excited. Oh, they've been here for 14 days. So I should probably check in with them about how their products are going. Have they got their delivery? Like it starts to put the wheels in motion of my next actions. Yeah. And it also just gets me fucking stoked because as I build a team, that number just goes up and up and up. And I don't even have to do anything some days. This weekend I traveled on a plane to a different city. I was at a wedding all day. I'm with my family today. I'm in the car. So I haven't been actively messaging for 2 days, which is great. I'm here for the work-life balance, right? I needed 2 days off. But I'm also so excited to get back into it tomorrow because now I have my energy like gusto. But I was in my back office right before coming on this call because it takes 1 minute, right? 1 minute to solidify the identity of I'm the Meta Power Millionaire. That's where I'm going. So, what are you doing? Let's hear. Chloe, I'm going to read this one out because we used you as an example. Thank you so much. My goal is to hit Premiere in March, so my daily habit will be to reach out to at least 10 people a day, a mix of current and new customers and builders. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, thanks, Jesse. I got to Elite within 7 days and I worked all of December to hit Elite, right? There was the sexy tension in December for me to get to Elite. Ooh, will I won't I 30 days? Let's go. And that happened and it was like, oh, okay, great. All right, on to the next one. Let's play. Let's keep going. Um, and I need that reactivation. Let me tell you, like I got stamina and staying power, but there's days, right? Might be like pre-bleed week or like there's lots going on. It's like that when that gas pedal kind of slows down, which of course is normal and natural and so beautiful. Um, and this is also the beauty of our business model is that you can, you know, take a day off for your bleed and watch your numbers go up because you're building through team effort. So that's ultimately where we're going, right? Cool, Christina. My goal is to rank advanced to elite by April. My habit is 5-3 daily. Yes. So set an alarm, put it in. My recommendation, if you are able to, I actually should use that term loosely because you get to choose what time you wake up every day. I'm not a parent, so that part, maybe not if you're a parent. Um, but I would schedule that as the priority hard task to get out of the way as early as possible, right? So if you're doing 5-3 daily or if you're doing your 10 messages, like that should be priority task number one. Not posting on Instagram, not posting on stories, not checking your inbox, not da, 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 da. No. Do that priority task first because what does this do to our psychology? Literally, if we do the hard thing, if we are disciplined to that, we get satisfaction. So then that momentum kicks on. We feel confident. We get a yes, right? We start associating the work with feeling good. There was another quote, I didn't screenshot it, but it was something like, once you realize the potential of the grind, you become addicted to it. Now, the grind might not be the word that resonates with you. I like to say the aligned grind to soften it a bit. Um, but once you realize the satisfaction, the momentum, the healing, the testimony, the results, oh my God, how could you not show up and do this? Yeah. So if you are only just getting started, it's so okay that those wheels are just like, it's so fine. And sometimes they'll slow down, sometimes you might need like a bit of work, a bit of oil, a bit of a spark, maybe some higher velocity fuel. um, but yeah, just know that in the beginning, if it's feeling really hard, once you start stacking those wins, it gets easier and easier and easier using the compound effect. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. If anyone would love to just share their final takeaway or something that did spark in you, I'd love to just read that in the chat before we close tonight. I'm going to pass it over to Jesse just after that to see if there's any announcements and things we have to speak through. But just again to support your brain at retaining the information, retaining the feeling. Like you don't show up to these calls for no reason, right? Your energy and your time is really valuable. We were just talking for 55 minutes. That's not free. That's beautiful that you carved out this time to prioritize it. I do not take that lightly. You're actively choosing to be here. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and making you come here, right? You're a stand for that vision that you have, for the yes you first felt with doTERRA. And it's on you, it's your responsibility. As much as we have a team and we have people, it's amazing. It's your responsibility to keep that fire burning, right? So thank you so much for choosing this, for saying yes to this, for being disciplined to this call, because that stuff, that's going to stack. Imagine if you're on a call every Monday for a year. Do you think you're going to be the same by the end of that year? If just for 1 hour once a week, you do that, but every week, you're going to be changed. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you tuning in to listen to me ramble at you for an hour. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, these are all awesome. Thank you so, so much. My absolute pleasure. Um, make sure you sign up to that Rank Advance Masterclass. You can share it with your team, your people, and what else? Connect with me on Instagram. I'm at Spirited Seeker. If you lost the link, It's in my link in bio. You can message me and ask. You can join me with whoever. That's all good. I would love that. Or if you took a story tonight, you can tag me in that. I'm going to pass this over to Jessie now.
Stunning. Thank you so much, Em. That was so, so valuable. I just love the simplicity with which you teach and really break things down into bite-sized, super easy to understand chunks. So valuable. I'm so excited for the rank advance replay, and I'm so glad that you're doing a replay for the team, not the public, because many of us will be at Vedic meditation. By the way, everyone, there's I think 1 or 2 spots left if you are wanting to join us for Vedic meditation next weekend. It runs from the 15th till the 18th, about 2 hours a day training. Get in touch with Courtney Lowe if you would like to join in for that. And Courtney is running the product education calls. They start at 7 p.m. every Monday, so they're straight after this. She's just posted the link, the Zoom link for that call. Tonight's call is stress less, sleep more, and there'll be a few other things she's covering. So those are fantastic for your product education, and also they are open to all customers as well. So feel free to invite your customers to those every week. Same Zoom link. Passcode is doTERRA, 7 p.m. Vedic meditation and in combination with MetaPower is literally mine and Courtney's superpower to how we have the capacity and nervous system to show up in the ways that we are in business. And also just quickly want to give a plug to mine and Katie's Just Try and Be Miserable challenge. I'll share the link in the chat here. It is something that we've created to attract new customers and business partners, but also for everyone in our team, customers and business partners as well. These things that we're sharing, little habits on a daily basis, MetaPower Advantage, the yoga collection in particular, the Ascend blend, which is so uplifting, so joyful, just helps you come back to your power. And daily dancing, just like even one song, dancing to one song a day. And you can share that on socials. You can tag us at Just Try and Be Miserable. You can tag mine and Katie's Instagram. Lachlan's been dancing along with us the last few days, so have been loving witnessing that. But it just helps so much if you're in a funk, if you're feeling low. You know, it can be challenging to show up if you're just like not energized or feeling a bit flat, right? So using the MetaPower, using the Ascend, doing your dance, and then you'll find that you're inspired to show up. And you can even use this as a tool to attract more people to want to buy with you, right? Because if you're dancing and like they see how high vibe and how much energy you have, that is going to be magnetic and draw people into you. So yeah, Lachlan said really helped shift my mood. Same, bro. Like I had the shits badly the other day and Jack was like, you need to do your dance. Remember how you created that challenge with Katie? And I did, and it immediately shifted. Dance has been proven to shift your state and actually help with depression more than anything else, even like strength training, walking, so many things. So that in combination with MetaPower is just like, you're unstoppable. So feel free to join us for that. Thank you so much for that call, Emily. That was so, so incredible. Love the tips around being in your back office every day. Crucial. So many people have no idea where they are. So it's very difficult to set a goal if you're not clear on where you are and what you need to get to where you want to be. Stunning, keeping it simple, recruiting, helping people take advantage of loyalty rewards. Love the tip of not using weird acronyms that people have no idea what they mean. And helping other people do the same. Remember that 80% of our time should be in recruitment and 20% supporting our team. I see so many people making the mistake of, as they have a few builders, focusing all their time on supporting those people. Always be 80 recruiting, 20 support. So 100% appreciate you guys so much. Jump on the product education call with Courtney and we will see you next week. Have an amazing week. Let's go crush it. Let's be disciplined. Let's take action every day. Thanks everyone. Bye.